and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome you to one of the most auspicious occasions of the year. Welcome all of you, parents, friends and family. We welcome you to the 2014 Langley Fundamental Middle and Secondary School Commencement Ceremony. I am Sapna Daniwal and I will be your MC for the evening. I also will be joining the parents of the grad class by celebrating my daughter's graduation today. There are some very important people who are currently missing on the sides. So without further ado, please stand and join us in welcoming our graduating class of 2014, led and escorted by our former principal, Mr. Darren Forrest, who will be playing the bagpipes. Once all the grads have arrived, please remain standing as we will sing O Canada, led by our choir and our brass quintet. Thank you very much, Mr. Forrest.
Please join us for singing about Canada.
Thank you.
Choshaloza, meaning go forward. This is a traditional South African folk song that was sung by migrant workers. The message given is make your way for the next man, for the next generation, for the next grad class. Thank you very much, that was brilliant. It is a privilege to introduce and welcome our stage committee. We have with us tonight School Board Trustee Rod Ross. Can give a round of applause. School Board Trustee Cecilia Riki. Langley School District Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Claire Gee. Mr. Mark Rempel and Mr. Chandra Balakrishnan, our esteemed Principal and Vice Principal of Langley Fundamental. And Ms. Hopton, our School Counsellor. We are also honoured to have with us Acting Mayor Grant Ward. High school graduation represents a significant milestone in each of our lives, and today we celebrate together the completion of this journey. We watch with anticipation what the future brings to these wonderful young, talented adults. And we reminisce over the developments the last year has brought to them. Your teachers have watched and admired how you have discussed and shared your thoughts about many events that have taken place this year. To name a few, the passing of Nelson Mandela, new human rights legislation, the unravelling of Rob Ford, the tragic disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight, the survival of Malala, 16-year-old girl shot by the Taliban. On a lighter note, we've watched and laughed at you take selfies, interacting via Instagram, told it's not Instagram, it's actually Insta. Vines, Snapchat, talk about new developments such as the Google self-drive car and the new 4K smart TVs. Your graduation is finally here, and now it is time for you to sit back for the next 4 hours. Sorry. Actually, just 2. At this time, we encourage you to listen intently to the words of wisdom shared by those who are older and wiser. We welcome Ms. Clagy, Langley Assistant Superintendent of Schools, who will bestow the first round of wisdom.
Good evening, everyone. Definitely older, yes. I'm not so sure about the wiser. But I do want to, first of all, say how uplifted I already am. What a beautiful start to a wonderful ceremony with fabulous bagpipes with Mr. Forrest and beautiful, beautiful music from the choir. Thanks to them all already. It's very, very inspiring. So, good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor to be here today to bring greetings on behalf of the Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Suzanne Hoffman, and the staff of School District 35 to our special guests, the graduating class of 2014. And it is an honor to recognize that we are standing on the traditional territory of the Kwantlen, Katzie, and Matsqui First Nations. Today marks a defining moment in your lives, an ending point. By the way, do you know over 12,870 hours of classes? Think about that one. But also a beginning, a destination, but also a journey, and one that you have not taken alone. I'd like you to take a moment to reflect back on your time in school and think about the caring people in the system that made a difference in helping you get here today. Perhaps it was a special teacher who took the extra time to tutor you after school, or an administrator or counselor who helped you work through a problem, or the secretary who assisted you when you were sick, or the support worker who brought you your lunch when you forgot yours. And of course your family and friends who stood by your side and will continue to do so. You will need their support as you move on. Whoever your special people may be, please take some time to thank them for making a positive difference in your life. Langley Fundamental Secondary is a very special place. The students here have always been known for the wonderful work and countless hours of service you provide to your community, and the class of 2014 is no exception. You truly embody the spirit of think globally, act locally, and the spirit of volunteerism is alive and well among you. I thank you for that and hope you continue to pay it forward as you have already done for many local agencies as well as schools abroad in Nicaragua. You are leaders and an inspiration to those around you. You represent our new District 35 Vision core values: integrity, excellence, courage, and community. Collectively, you are truly an innovative and inspiring learning community. Within that spirit of giving, however, you have also had time to enjoy yourselves and create the memories that are all part of graduation. The Grad parking lot campout, the Grad cruise, the Halloween party, complete with an amazing fireworks display, tight and bright bowling. I'm scared to ask what that one is. The Christmas snowball dance, the sleepover Nerf war, Toga Tuesday, War Zone Wednesday. That was the girls, I think. Trips to New York and Tofino. And of course, the amazing, wonderful Wizard of Oz. Your educational journey will continue long after you leave high school. There is something new to learn in every opportunity that comes your way. I applaud the many of you who already have plans to continue with some post-secondary training, and I encourage you all to take that step and pursue your passions, whatever they may be. Passion and persistence will take you far. You just need to believe in yourselves. Some of you may not be certain yet of the path you will take, and that too will be part of the journey. There will be as many paths, hopes, and dreams as there are graduates here tonight, and you will each follow the path that is right for you. And don't be surprised if there are detours along the way. The detours and roadblocks are what make us grow stronger and keep the route interesting. So as you cross the stage today, with dignity, purpose, and options for your future, please know that every one of us in our school district are proud of you. As you graduate, please think about the positive legacy you will leave for the students who will inhabit your halls after you are gone. My wish for you all is that your legacy be one of being the best you can be caring deeply for others, and making a positive difference. I wish you continued success in your educational journey and a happy and safe graduation. Thank you.
Mr. Rod Ross is a long-serving school board trustee. He has been a continuous supporter of our school, and we welcome him to give greetings and a message to our grads.
It's always a pleasure to be here. This is the first time I've been introduced and not been asked to keep it short. Ray Salotsky always would say, Mr. Ross, you only got a few minutes here, so keep it short. So anyway, it's good to see you, Ray, James, and all the other teachers here, and fabulous people. And also, do you realize this is the last year there's going to be a frolic in the fundamental system? So, I just want to applaud you guys. I love this school, and of course my kids had the pleasure of experiencing the fundamental system as well. And what a great place. I mean, this is the school they lined up to get into, 3-4 days to get into. We did, I know, and many of you guys remember those days. I asked the school board to give me some background as to how many people are on the wait list for the elementary system. So we're over 500 for the elementary. Middle school, high school, it's over 400. And gosh golly, we have 6 unborn kids that are on the list. So there is a demand here that just escapes me. This is wonderful. So keep up the good work. So today I've got 3 things I want to share, and it's a theme that I think is really important. And the theme is all about risk. And tonight I brought in my a Starbucks, and some people might be wondering about why I bring a Starbucks in here, but I've got a question for the grad class today. Raise your hand if you're either Tim Hortons or a Starbucks. So let's start. Who's a Tim Hortons guy? That's your home, okay? All right, you lose. Okay, thank you. The rest of you Starbucks, good. Well, I notice one thing whenever I go to Tim's, and whenever you go to Tim Hortons, there's nothing but old people in there. Well, as you go to Starbucks, there's nothing but young people. And the difference is, at Tim's, they're all looking backwards. They're not talking about the old days, But at Starbucks, they're talking about the future. And I love going to Starbucks. So I want to be a future-oriented guy. I want to be in a future-oriented school district, and I want you to be future-oriented. So when you think of Starbucks, think about being a future-oriented person. The second one I want to tell you, the second little story I want to tell you tonight is a favorite parable of mine, and it's all about risk again as well. And I've said it before, and so I think if you don't know this story, it's the story of the rich landowner. Okay, This guy is very wealthy, and he decided one day to give some gifts. So he gave some serious money to his employees. So to one, a really 5-talent guy, like Frank Van Noort, right? 5-talent guy. So he gave him $5 million. And to the next one, he saw Mr. Billows down in the front row, and he said, well, I got to give him $2 million. And and then the last one he gave to Grant Ward. He gave him $1 million, right? And then he takes off, and he doesn't even give any direction as to what to do with all this money. He just sort of basically says, show me what you can do, kids. I'll come back. And of course, if you know the story, the 5-talent Frank doubles his money, comes back with $10 million. And so the boss says, hey, I'm going to make you a partner. And then to Mr. Billows from 2, he goes to $4 million. Oh, that's great. So Mr. Billows, make you a partner. Well, Grant Ward, he just takes his $1 million and he just sticks it in the ground, doesn't even do anything with it. He just hands it back to the rich landowner. So he gets fired. So, don't be a Grant Ward. Be a Frank. Now, the moral of the story really is you got to take risks. In any economy, if you want to double your money, you got to take risks. Well, Frank knows all about that. He's a good business guy. And so, in life, grads, take risks, embrace risk. This is a school district that took a risk with this program years ago. This school was not wanted in the Langley School District. It was not birthed out of love. And look what is here today. We've got a fantastic school. And it's made a huge difference. So take risks. And of course, lastly, my very favorite television show of all time, being an educator, The Magic School Bus. How many remember that? You know, the Frizz is kind of like a Sawatsky. And the Frizz takes these kids on wonderful field trips to Nicaragua. And they find neat stuff, and they learn, and they grow, and they embrace life. And it's just this amazing thing, right? The great show. But somewhere in the show, every show, the Frizz tells us things. She says, take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. Now, as parents, we tell our kids, don't take chances, don't make mistakes. You know, we're all about staying clean, right? And if you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to make a difference in this world, you're going to have to take chances and get messy and make a few mistakes along the way. So we want to encourage that. As a school district, we're not going to get any better if we don't take chances. If we don't get messy every once in a while and make a few mistakes as well. So my encouragement to you is, tonight, folks, be a Starbucker. Secondly, be a Frank. Take risks. And lastly, be like Sawatsky, be like the Frizz, and take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. And success will be guaranteed. Congratulations, grads. We're so proud of you as a district. I know that you've, just reading on the back here, you're thinking of others and you're committing to the Aldergrove Community Services Homeless Initiative. Fabulous stuff. Thinking of others. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. I would like to call out Mr. Steve Thompson, our music director, to introduce our Tyson of the Year, voted by staff.
It's a great pleasure to present this wonderful award. There's a number of awards for outstanding students, and this is one of them. It's a very high award, and I'm just going to read you a little bit of the criteria and think if you can maybe imagine who this person might be. The criteria for Titan of the Year is it must be a student who encapsulates a true Titan, an exemplary person, enthusiastic about life and learning, involved in the school and perhaps the community, actively participates in class, extracurricular activities, has leadership qualities, demonstrates qualities that are cohesive with the fundamental system of beliefs, puts forth a stellar effort, helps, guides, and listens to others, is not a member of any clique or social group within the group of grads as a whole, is well-liked and is kind and compassionate and demonstrates care for the school and the people within it. So when this request came out for the teachers to select the Titan of the Year, that there were many people that came to mind, but one name that kept coming back unanimously over and over from staff. And so I'd like to just say some of the things that staff have said about this young fellow. He's kind, he's generous, he's community-minded, self-confident, he's an individual, he's kind to all, he's hardworking, he's a person of integrity, he's thoughtful, inclusive, servant-hearted, resourceful, amazing problem solver, he's a quick study, he's mature beyond his years, and I can say from working with him that he's a professional. I'm not sure whether I should announce his name yet, but I'm just going to say that there's a couple other things that people said about him. He's assertive, dynamic. He helped to organize grad events, and his follow-through and initiative meant a lot of things happened that may not have happened otherwise. He's detail-minded, and someone said, it was Mr. Bourget, can we hire him? Or maybe that was Mrs. Donald, I'm not sure. He's been a grad council leader. He's been on tech support for the staff. He probably should have been paid somewhere along the way, but he hasn't been. It's all for the experience. He's assisted with inventory in many departments, tech in particular, troubleshooting. He came down to Mr. Bourget almost daily, or to me or others, and said, what can I do today? He never says no when asked to help. Someone else said, what hasn't he done? And he does it with a smile on his face. It's a pleasure to introduce Titan of the Year, Ryan McCarty. I'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I'm not used to standing up here. Usually I'm in the tech booth. We are so grateful at our school to have so many caring parents, teachers, and students. Teachers who care about us on a personal level, not just as students, but care about how we're doing in life in general, and that's very valued. We're also very grateful to have parents who are always there whenever and for whatever we need. And a lot of the events that we did this year couldn't have happened without the parents. And then the grads themselves are very supportive to one another, and it's been great to be a part of the class. And before we part ways, grads on either side, I have some advice that wherever life takes you, and wherever you go in life, always be bold enough to question the status quo and brave enough to change it. Thank you.
Ryan, what are we going to do without you? Okay. On Monday night, Monday coming, it's the night of our grad banquet, and we're all really looking forward to that. So there'll be a more detailed introduction of this next award, of the Grad of the Year award. This award has been voted for by grade 12 students. To give this grad time to prepare a few words, we will announce today who they are. So this grad has shown commitment and dedication to our school community. This grad is an actor, a dancer, and has been part of our school musicals, The Sound of Music, and with The Wizard of Oz. This grad has also been part of our student council for many years and has helped with many school functions. This student is a true friend and has such a fun, lively personality. Our grad of the year is Danielle Bannon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now that time that we've all been waiting for 13 years. That moment, as parents, we have been dreading because our little babies are now moving into the real world. That moment, as educators, we take pride in their accomplishments. Our grads will now cross the stage to the reading of their grad statements, words they want to share with you on this very important day of their life. A slideshow will accompany their journey across the stage. Also, those students who are the recipients of awards and scholarships will be recognised and a presentation to them will be made as they cross the stage. Parents, there will be a quick photo opportunity moment as they come down the stage. Langley Fundamental Middle and Secondary School graduates of 2014 will be presented by Mr. Brissett, Miss Graham and Miss Clayton. Please welcome them.
Jocelyn Abernathy. Roz's childhood hero was her mom, someone always so happy and so caring. She would like to thank her mom, not only for being a role model, but for all the driving, all the lunches, and for always being there. Roz has enjoyed spending time with her friends, but she's looking forward to going to college and maybe traveling to Paris someday. Her words of wisdom to fellow grads are, a caring word can accomplish more than you can ever imagine.
Morgan Andrew. As a child, Morgan always wanted to become a princess, just like her mother. She thanks her mom and Papa Kemp for pushing her when she needed it the most and putting up with her all these years. One thing she has learned from her years at Fundy is that true friends will last forever, and she hopes to continue those friendships as she goes on to university, to travel, and to fulfill her future dreams.
The only thing Jordan wanted to be when he was little was older. Now that he is, his dreams include studying business at university and someday either studying abroad or traveling after getting his degree. Growing up, he has enjoyed playing soccer and basketball and spending time with friends. He thanks his parents who have always been there supporting him throughout his journey. Jordan is the recipient of one of the Ministry of Education's District Dogwood Authority scholarships specializing in physical activity, soccer. The committee thoroughly enjoyed his presentation on how soccer played a big part of his life in enhancing his ability to lead and motivate others to enjoy the sport. Here to present this award to him on behalf of the board is Trustee Rod Ross. Congratulations.
for a long time now and is absolutely stoked that it is finally happening. Gerald plans to pursue architectural studies and wants to travel the world in hopes of finding adventure, meeting new people, and eating good food. He would like to give all the glory to God and wants to thank his family, friends, and teachers for being a strong foundation in building who Gerald is today. Peace out, grads. Do great things. Gerald is also the recipient of one of the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority scholarships specializing in fine arts, focusing on visual arts. Gerald's ability to create along with his academic achievement will create many post-secondary opportunities for him. Congratulations. On behalf of the Ministry of Education,
Josh Barron. Josh believes in the quote by Henry Ford that failure is simply an opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. This has helped him pick himself up innumerable times throughout his high school, and he can proudly say that he made it onto the honor roll this year. Josh thanks his friends who have gotten him through the years at Fundy. Thanks for the good times.
Kim Botter. And she inspired Kim to believe that anything is possible. And indeed, Kim has accomplished so much, making the honor roll, winning many titles in volleyball, including coming in 5th in nationals and 1st in high school beach provincials. She has enjoyed all 13 years at Fundy to the fullest, and what she's learned from her time here is that if you give, your return is so much greater. Kimberly is the recipient of the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority Scholarship specializing in physical activity. As an accomplished player, Kimberly will be joining Memorial University's varsity team in Newfoundland this fall.
Hannah Beaton. Hannah is going to join New Western on a track and field scholarship next year, and after competing in heptathlon as long as possible, she would like to pursue a career in nursing. Hannah started a program called Step in Someone Else's Shoes that supplies children from inner city schools with shoes that they are otherwise unable to afford. She would like to thank her parents who have encouraged, supported, and inspired her every step of the way. Hannah was recognized as Langley's Outstanding Youth this year and received the Township of Langley's Pete Swenson Award. Bill Sandu is here on behalf of Prospera Credit Union to present Hannah with the Prospera Credit Union Rising Star Award. In addition, Hannah is a recipient of one of the Ministry of Education's District Dogwood Authority scholarships specializing in service and leadership. Trustee Rod Ross will present Hannah with this award.
He wanted to be a star. Now that he's older, he wants to find a job where he can make some money and maybe travel one day to Iceland. He wants to thank his mom, dad, and Mrs. Penner for their support, saying that he wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. The most important lesson that he has learned here is that being on time matters. He wants to share the following with his fellow grads. Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life.
Emma Brewer. It has been Emma's dream to play soccer in university since she first touched a soccer ball at the age of 5. Next year, Emma will be fulfilling that dream as she attends Quest University on a soccer scholarship. Excited to be graduating, Emma will always remember the life-changing school trips she went on, and she thanks her family for always being there for her and giving her support every step of the way. Emma has been awarded an athletic scholarship by Quest University to play on their varsity soccer team. Here to present her with the scholarship from Quest is Coach Paul Peterson. Congratulations.
Brother Matt for always making him laugh. Joey is taking a gap year to save money for school or his travels. He'll figure out his future while he's working, making money. Joey dreams of traveling around Eastern Asia in his future. Keep up the hard work.
Scott Bonito. Scott is an honor roll student and man of many talents, some of which include playing soccer and juggling. This year, after all his This year, after all his hard work, Scott was hired as a lifeguard, a job that he hopes will help him pay for university as he pursues a degree in engineering. Scott thanks all his Fundy friends for an incredible journey, but also dreams of future journeys, meeting new people and traveling to every continent in the world, except Antarctica, because it's a long way to go just for some penguins. Scott is one of the 3 recipients of the Township of Langley Scholarship Award, recognizing students from each Langley High School for their high academic achievement. Here to present Scott with this award is Acting Mayor Grant Ward.
Long drives with the music playing loudly. She would like to share a quote from Dennis Waitley with her fellow grads. Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude.
Jason Burns. When Jason was little, his childhood hero was his dad, and even now Jason admits that his advice is pretty good. Throughout high school, Jason has enjoyed playing baseball and working as an umpire. One thing he has learned from Fundy is that teachers are people too, not just authoritative figures who hand out marks. He thanks his teachers and parents for all their support, and he thanks his little brother for making life interesting.
Of becoming a professional dirt bike racer. Today his hobbies still include riding his dirt bike along with laughing and hanging out with his friends. Some of his favorite high school memories have included going on trips with the school, and next year he plans on continuing his love of travel by going to New Zealand for Bible school, then eventually studying business at Trinity Western. An important lesson he has learned from his time at LFMSS is always try your best and never give up.
Hannah has been an active member of this year's Grad Council. As well, she has served on the Youth Advisory Council and on the Recreation Advisory Committee for the Township of Langley. Hannah's childhood hero is Harry Potter because he stands for bravery, loyalty, and friendship. She waited years for her letter from Hogwarts, which never arrived. But while at Fundy, she did learn that life is all about relationships. Remember, grads, it's our choices that show us what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Albus Dumbledore. Hannah is the recipient of 2 scholarships tonight, the Langley Township Fire Hall #5 scholarship awarded to students who plan on pursuing a career in protective services and law enforcement, and the Cloverdale Paint Scholarship recognizing the top academic student who has a relative employed by the company. Acting Mayor Grant Ward and Dave Scrivens will present Hannah with these awards.
Because both of these characters always had lots of friends, and friendship is something that Eric values to this day. His favorite memories of high school, like playing ping pong on Spare or dressing up with Reggie on Twin Day, are all a result of the many friendships he has developed while at Fundy. Eric is also proud of his skill in finding the best cell service around, a skill he hopes to take with him next year when he moves on to post-secondary. Eric thanks his teachers for a great education and wishes his classmates all the best.
Jesse Chapman. Jesse has been inspired by Eminem, who has inspired Jesse to write his own raps, which is his hidden talent. That, and he can communicate with unicorns. If you ever wanted to find Jesse at school, you check the gym. His highest marks are in PE, and he spent a lot of time volunteering in different PE classes. In the future, Jesse would like to own his own automotive restoration customization shop. The most important lesson that he learned in his years at school is that you will never know success if you never fail.
Since 2012. He has made many friends and has many memories. His best memory is his Whistler trip, where he experienced skiing for the first time. Bruce plans to attend Trinity Western next year and hopes to one day travel the world. Bruce would like to thank his father and says he couldn't have come to Canada without his support.
Jimmy enjoyed his time studying in Canada, especially his time spent in band. He'll miss standing for O Canada every day, as well as truly missing the many friends he has made during his time with us. Jimmy hopes to stay in touch with all his friends as he works towards his career in hotel management.
At Fundy for guiding, educating, and making the years of this school so memorable. And while she won't miss navigating those cramped hallways, she will miss being surrounded by all of you. She looks forward to pursuing a career in the medical field and traveling. She would like the grad class to think of this time not as a goodbye, but as a thank you for all those wonderful memories. Simi is the recipient of 2 scholarships, the Langley Fundamental Elementary School PAC, where her essay was chosen on how the philosophy and community of the fundamental school influence the person you are, presented by LFE PAC President Wendy Young. Simi is also awarded the Ministry of Education District Authority Scholarship specializing in service and leadership.
David Gar. After graduating, David is planning to continue his training to become an electrician at BCIT. He wishes his fellow grads all the best for the future. David is the recipient of 2 scholarships tonight. His essay on how being a part of LFMSS has impacted you was chosen by our PAC executive to be one of the 4 winners this year. Here to present David with this award is Neil Billows, our PAC president. David is also the recipient of the Cantera Management Group Scholarship, awarded to 3 Langley students who plan to pursue a career in the trades. Congratulations.
Andrew's favorite memories of high school include the many trips he's been on, especially the band trips, and the time he spent with friends along the way. Next year, he plans on going to Hollyspring Bible School in Sweden for 6 months before pursuing a career, perhaps as a Lego engineer, a dream he's had since he was little. He would like to thank his parents for all their love and all their free taxi service over the years, but mostly for all their love. Andrew is the recipient of the Elliott Franklin Memorial Scholarship in memory of Elliott, former graduate of LFMSS, who was involved in school activities and especially enjoyed jazz and concert band. Elliott will be remembered as a member of the BC curling team in 2009 and be honored in future years through his significant award. Mr. and Mrs. Franklin are here to present you with this scholarship.
Although he's looking forward to the future, Benaiah will miss all his teachers and friends at Langley Fundamental. He has enjoyed his time at Fundy and wishes everyone the best of luck in the future. Congratulations.
Brittany ends. Brittany's childhood hero was her mom, and one of the characteristics they share is that they are both easily annoyed. Growing up, Brittany wanted to be a princess, but now her plans are to become a nurse and work all around the world. She thanks her parents for forcing her to do her homework, and she thanks her iPod for making said homework bearable. Brittany's words to her fellow grads are live long and prosper. Brittany is the recipient of the Simons Elementary PAC Scholarship for their top academic Langley graduate who attended their elementary school. Here to present Brittany this award on behalf of their PAC is Ms. Hopton.
Jake wanted to be a train engineer when he was little, but now his immediate plans are to make a lot of money as a plumber. The most important thing he has learned from his time at Fundy is to always make the best of a situation and just get it done. If there is one question Jake could have answered in his lifetime, it would be why cops are allowed to talk on their phones when they drive. Jake is eligible and will receive the Secondary School Apprenticeship Scholarship in January next year once he has completed and submitted his 900 hours to the Industry Training Authority. Congratulations, Jake.
The road of life life will take him, but he hopes he'll be driving a fast car with the top down the whole way. Possibly with a Tim Hortons cup in the holder beside him. Clayton thanks his teachers for all their continued support over the years, and he knows he wouldn't be crossing this stage right now if it weren't for them.
Spencer Goodman. Spencer has been the Grad's DJ for several of the events over the year and hopes to turn those experiences into his dream of pursuing a career in audio engineering. Spencer enjoyed the amazing trip to Europe and hopes to go back with some friends in the future. Thanks Mom, Dad, friends, and God for their patience and support.
Fastest blue hedgehog in the world has been a comfort and an inspiration for Reggie's own creative imagination. Reggie has been accepted into SFU's Fine Arts program where he will pursue a double major in art and English. He would like to work as an animator cartoonist, but ultimately Reggie would like to take his talents and become the most awesome elementary school teacher ever. Reggie would really like to thank his friends at Fundy for welcoming him into their home. Reggie is the recipient of the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority Scholarship, specializing in fine arts, visual arts. The committee was wowed by his presentation and his ability to incorporate technology into his pieces of work.
Sam DeFune. When Sam was little, she always wanted to be a pencil. A stapler kind that don't break no matter how many times you sharpen them. She has many fun memories of high school, which include time well spent with friends, especially Rachel.
Braden Griffiths. Braden's secret talent is actually mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. He has fond memories of taking high school trips and winning 2 provincial championships while playing for the LFMSS volleyball team. But what he's learned most from his time at Fundy is that there is nothing more important than putting your friends and family first, and that relationships are truly the most important thing in your life. Braden received an academic entrance scholarship from UFV and will attend this fall to explore what he is truly capable of and see just how far he can go.
Nick Small. When Nick was a little guy, he wanted to grow up and be a chef, and although he still loves food a lot, he has changed his mind and plans on studying business and traveling the world. During his years at Fundy, Nick has enjoyed some of the school trips he's been on. He has enjoyed making people laugh. He has discovered that he can do some crazy things with his eyes. The most important thing he has learned is to make every moment count.
Dogs, and the 2 things she wanted to become were a dog breeder and something else. She also realized that she can walk incredibly fast, and she wishes she had known earlier that there was an Olympic sport for that. Next year, however, she will be studying at Trinity on their President's Scholarship, presumably not to take up speed walking or to become a dog breeder. The highlights of her time at Fundy have been some of the amazing school trips and every friend she has made here since kindergarten. Julia just received word that she is a recipient of the Langley Teachers Association Scholarship this year. Congratulations.
David Hattie. Dave is best known for his vast arsenal of Nerf weaponry, which he put to good use at this year's Grad sleepover. He has enjoyed his years at Langley Fundamental and has made many awesome friendships which he knows will last a lifetime.
Sierra is celebrating, a song she learned very well from Miss Getsky's class. She has good reason to celebrate. During her years at Fundy, she learned that high school isn't such a terrible, unforgiving place after all, but one where memories and friendships are made. She is proudly going off to Trinity Western, where she will make her own path. Don't wait to get invited, grads, Sierra says, to create opportunities and get in the game.
Apple. Some of Carson's favorite memories of high school have included the school trips and spending time with friends. One thing he's learned while attending LFMSS is that other schools are scary. Carson will never forget winning both Fraser Valleys and provincials and being named MVP at both tournaments. Next year, he plans on playing volleyball at post-secondary and getting a degree in business. He thanks his parents for always pushing him to do his best and wishes his fellow grads good luck in their own endeavors.
Brittany's childhood hero was Mulan, and as she prepares to study engineering next year, Brittany feels a certain kinship for this character, a fighting woman in a man's society. Brittany has enjoyed the Fundy school trips and hopes to study abroad or travel after getting her degree. Brittany is the second recipient of the Township of Langley Scholarship Award, recognizing students from each Langley High School for their high academic achievement. Here to present Brittany with this award is Acting Mayor Grant Ward.
Emily Hopkins. Emily has enjoyed her time at Fundy and can't believe how fast the time has flown since grade 8. Fond memories include the grade 9 Europe trip, her adventure in New York, and time spent in the art room with friends. Emily will attend SFU in the fall to explore programs in arts, business, and education. She thanks her parents, grandparents, and sisters for their support and encouragement. Her words of wisdom to her fellow grads: choose the path that will lead to greatness. The world awaits us. Emily is the recipient of the Ministry of Education's District Dogwood Authority Scholarship, specializing in physical activity. Her presentation on equine hunter jumping educated our committee on the level of skill and commitment required to compete in this sport. Trustee Rod Ross will present her this award.
Michael always thought it was his destiny to be like him and go into the NBA. While this dream may not come true, Michael has enjoyed winning the senior boys provincials and the U16 nationals. During his time at Langley Fundamental, Michael has learned 3 things: that in order to succeed, you have to work hard and find motivation, you can't sleep your way through your classes, and family will always be there for you.
Saga Ichikawa. As a child and teen, Saga has enjoyed Pokemon. His favorite character is Takeshi. He has made some great memories at the school. His best memories include the trips he got to take as an international student. His trip to the Rocky Mountains is his best high school memory. Saga would like to thank Mrs. Stark and Mr. Dennis for their encouragement and support throughout his journey.
Jake Jansen. And the band trips, but more than the events themselves, what made the experiences great was the fact that they created and strengthened friendships with his peers. The most important lesson Langley Fundamental has taught Jake is that when you think all is lost, friends and family will always be there to get you through. Unless, of course, we're talking about the overcrowded school hallways. Then it's a dog-eat-dog world. Taylor Jansen. Taylor will never forget the many memories that she has made on the school trips and all the wonderful relationships she has built throughout high school. Her dream is to become a pediatric nurse or a doctor and work at BC Children's Hospital, a dream she will be pursuing as she studies at Trinity Western next year. Taylor would also like to go back to Africa someday and volunteer in hospitals there. She wishes her fellow grads the best of luck in their endeavors. Taylor is the recipient of 2 scholarships tonight: the Langley Rotary Essay Scholarship awarded to 6 students in Langley High Schools who were able to demonstrate their knowledge of the goals of the Rotary Foundation, and the Langley Scholarship Committee Award. Gage Jensen. Gage's biggest accomplishment so far is crossing the stage at this very moment and he thanks all his teachers from Langley Fundamental for making this moment possible. Gage has many fond memories of high school, some of which he doesn't even remember. He also has fond memories of learning how to fold paper in Mrs. Graham's class. Gage wishes his fellow grads the best of luck in the future.
Growing up, Edie has always wanted to be a doctor, but after several experiences, she has discovered that she doesn't do very well with blood. Now, although she does plan on attending post-secondary school, she would also like to travel around the entire world. She thanks her parents for giving her the opportunity to study abroad, first in India and finally in Canada, and she wishes her fellow graduates all the best in their own future plans.
Jillian wonders who keeps putting the chairs in a creepy circle in the crawl space. Jillian is happily looking forward to her future of attending nursing school at the College of New Caledonia in Prince George, where hopefully her skills of making blanket forts during her spare will come in handy.
During his time here, Tim has developed a real talent for the guitar. Playing guitar is his favorite hobby, and most days you could find him playing the guitar at lunch and after school. Not surprisingly, Jin hopes to turn his passion for the guitar into a career, but his earlier dream was to be a professional chef. Jin would like to thank his parents for their love and support, and for all the opportunities to experience other cultures.
Singing and making music. He has also enjoyed playing ping pong at school during his spare, playing hockey and other sports. He thanks his parents for pushing him to always be better than he thought he could be, and he thanks his friends and fellow grads for making school so enjoyable. This summer, Mason will be interning at Southridge, running youth events. He encourages his classmates never to give up on something they want.
Sarah has enjoyed all of her years at Fundy since kindergarten. She would like to thank her family for their support, and especially her parents for all of those late nights finishing last-minute projects. She would like to thank her friends and fellow graduates for making this experience fun and memorable. She looks forward to attending Trinity Western next year and can't wait to see what God has in store for her. Sarah is the recipient of the Langley Elks Lodge 259 Scholarship Award. The Elks are committed to promoting and serving community needs. They have donated funds to support post-secondary education for a student graduating from each of the Langley High Schools. Congratulations, Sarah, on being this year's recipient.
Some of Emily's accomplishments throughout high school have been making the honor roll and learning to row. Her plans for the future are to learn, to teach, to continue to row, and someday to see new parts of the world. She thanks her mom, her stepdad, and her grandparents for standing by her every step of the way, and her words of wisdom come from Stephen Wright. If at first you don't succeed, destroy all evidence that you ever tried.
Mary has enjoyed being involved in concert band and jazz band for the past 2 years, and she thanks all of the friends she made there for making her smile. She also thanks her teachers for all their support and her parents for giving her the opportunity to come to Canada. She appreciates everyone's love and kindness. Mary has been dreaming of becoming an airline pilot for years, and after she graduates, she's going to learn how to fly a plane with the ultimate goal of flying her favorite airplane, a Boeing 747.
Family therapist. Eventually, she would also like to have a loving family of her own and a dog, not necessarily in that order. During her years at Fundy, Sarah has learned the importance of time management and of waking up early, which led to her straight A's in grade 12. To the grads, she states, never be afraid to ask questions, to accept help, and don't waste time trying to impress others.
Emma Lewis. Emma lives her own advice every day. Always have a smile on your face. It's way more fun to talk to someone with a smile on their face than a frown. Emma's future plans are always changing, but no matter what, she wants to have a large family. She still wants to see if the megalodon still exists. Emma is the recipient of 4 scholarships this evening. The LFMSS and Langley DPAC Essay Scholarship presented by PAC President Neil Billows, the LFE Scholarship presented by Wendy Young, PAC President, and finally Trustee Rod Ross will present the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority Scholarship specializing in service and leadership. Congratulations, Emma.
At Fundy, where he made many friends. He intends to take what he has learned at school to the University of Toronto, where he will study engineering, but he hopes that there will still be time for soccer.
When Sherry was little, she wanted to be a pilot because she thought she could go to heaven to visit her grandpa. She also thought that Batman lived in her closet. Today, however, Sherry enjoys playing piano and she plans on attending SFU to become a certified public accountant because she says she loves finding mistakes.
When Gabe was little, he wanted to be Link from The Legend of Zelda. And while he'd still like to rescue the princess, his more immediate plans are to work and save and travel. Gabe would like to thank his whole family and the teachers at Langley Fundamental for supporting him and pushing him throughout the journey of high school. He couldn't have done it without you.
Tristan always wanted to be a professional athlete when he was little, and after a successful high school career in volleyball, winning the provincial championships for 2 consecutive years, Tristan plans on playing while at college or university. He thanks his mom for supporting him so much over the years, and his brothers for motivating him to be better. If there is one mystery Tristan could have solved in his lifetime, it would be women. High school was fun. Enjoy it while you can and live every day as if it's your last.
Childhood hero was Winnie the Pooh because she loves honey just like him. Tia's best memory was her trip to Loon Lake in grade 9. After high school, Tia hopes to do a bit of traveling before going to university, where she plans on taking courses to become a youth and child care worker. Tia would like to thank Mrs. Penner for all of her love and support and for making her years at Fundy a wonderful experience. Tia's message to her fellow grads is this: life is not measured by the breaths you take, but by the moments that take your breath away.
Matt has enjoyed playing hockey, spending time with his friends, and being an active member of this year's Grad committee. Next year, although he plans on pursuing post-secondary education, he would like to take time out to travel to Australia. He says thanks to his family and friends for making life enjoyable, and he thanks all the teachers who've helped him throughout high school.
Mountain biking, hiking, most sports, and he really enjoyed the Global Ed trip this year. From his days at Langley Fundamental, he's learned that not many things come easy, so you better work hard. He plans on putting that motto to use next year as he pursues a degree in business and works towards getting his pilot's license. Dave also has plans to travel in the future and take a trip to Ascension Island.
One of Ryan's favorite memories of high school was playing ping pong while the tech team at 1 a.m. in the morning. Ryan's knowledge of technology and his willingness to help out whenever necessary have certainly been an asset to the school. Next year, Ryan plans on pursuing a degree in political science and then hopes to go on to law school. He'd like to leave his fellow grads with a quote from Steve Jobs: "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition, then somehow already know what you want to become." Ryan is the recipient of 2 scholarships this evening: the Brent Barber Memorial Scholarship, awarding 2 academic students in Langley who plan on pursuing a career in law enforcement, Brent's service to the community is commemorated in this award. Ryan is also the recipient of the Langley Scholarship Committee Scholarship recognizing him for his leadership within our school. On behalf of each scholarship, Mrs. Hopton will present Ryan with these awards.
For many reasons, one being the fact that he was a carpenter, a trade that Miguel is now pursuing himself. Miguel has many fond memories of high school, including the trips, especially the band trips, where he was able to strengthen so many friendships. Miguel would like to thank all of his teachers for supporting him throughout his years and his family for helping him continually on this journey.
For a future in architecture by spending a large amount of time wandering the school's hallways, examining the various rooms and structures. Next year, Monica will be attending UFE to pursue a degree in architecture. She thanks her parents, teachers, and fellow grads for all their support over the years.
Mark Milan. Mark's hobbies include carving, sailing, and reading. He has enjoyed high school because hanging out with people and playing sports with them at lunch gave him an opportunity to make some great friendships. Friendships, he hopes, will last many years into the future. Next year, Mark plans on going to Kwantlen to become an electrician and then possibly continue his education to become an engineer.
Jesse has been successful in the ACIT piping program and plans to continue piping after high school and hopefully pursue his passion in music. He wants to express his thanks to his mom and Mr. Sahota for setting him on a good career path. The most important lesson that Jesse has learned is that being yourself might not make you a lot of friends, but it will give you the right ones.
Brianna's favorite memories from high school include the many laughs shared with friends and watching her sister do movie impressions on the West Coast band tour. At one time growing up, she wanted to be a vet, but now she plans on attending university and pursuing a career in interior design. Her greatest achievement so far has been walking across the stage at this very moment, and she encourages her classmates to follow their dreams wherever they may lead them.
Talia's most memorable experience was the West Coast band tour in grade 10 and is very proud of her ability to navigate the very crowded hallways at school. She's learned to bob, weave, and jump through all the many obstacles in the way to class. The skills will come in handy as she works on her future goals of going to university and traveling across Europe. Talia would like to thank her parents and friends who have always supported her.
Wanted to be an archaeologist, but now he just wants to take off and travel the world. His favorite memories of high school include the Europe trip, spending time with friends, and playing sports. Calder thanks his family and friends for their support and the good times. The most important thing he learned in high school is not to sweat the small things.
Favorite memories of high school include playing school soccer, going on the grad cruise, and spending lots of time and money at Starbucks. During her time at Fundy, she has learned a few things. 1, there are some pretty awesome people in this world. 2, it is possible to get an A in math if you work really hard. And 3, she has a unique ability to nap anytime and anywhere. She thanks her whole family for all the love and support and all her amazing teachers for putting up with her. Carmen is the recipient of the Langley Teachers Association Retired Teacher Scholarship, recognizing a graduate from each Langley High School who plans on pursuing a career in education.
Brittany's greatest achievement is being part of the soccer team that became League Fraser Valley champions and Coastal Cup champions. She would especially like to thank her mom and dad for letting her go on the Europe trip. That is one of the most cherished memories of Fundy, and she wants to travel the world in her future.
Yuto Nakamoto. Trips with the international program, specifically his trip to Whistler. His greatest accomplishment has been his improvement in his English skills. When he came to Canada, he couldn't speak English, and now he is graduating from a Canadian high school. While he has to go back to Japan, his goal for the future is to come back to Canada because he really loves it here. Yuto would like to thank Mrs. Starr and Mr. Dennis for helping him do his best. To his grads, Yuto has these words to share. YOLO. The wonderful school trips she's been on and the impact they've had on her life. One lesson she's learned from her time at Fundy has been that trying your best is the most important factor to success. A lesson she will carry with her next year as she goes on to university to become an elementary school teacher. She thanks her parents both for supporting her throughout high school. Studying in Canada has been overcoming her extreme shyness. She attributes this to her time spent in the musical, in choir, in ballet lessons, and in talking with all her friends and teachers here at Fundy. During her time at Fundy, she's also learned how important it is to be creative and to respect everybody's differences. She thanks her parents for the many opportunities they have given her over the years. Daniel's favorite high school memory was the California band trip and the bonding that took place as they spent hours on the bus. He also enjoyed interviewing a charity for global ed class because it helped him better understand what was going on and how he could help. Future plans include going to school for architecture and drafting. Jesse Oliver. But now his plans are to get an engineering degree from UBC. Some of Jesse's favorite high school memories have been participating in the musicals, being a part of jazz band, and playing soccer out on the field at lunch with his friends. He especially thanks his parents for helping him with homework and all the driving to early morning jazz band practices. Jesse is the recipient of the Langley Odd Fellows Scholarship. Langley Odd Fellows is an organization dedicated to helping people in the community, education, and medical field. Congratulations, Jesse, for being this year's recipient. Dana Pratt. Even though she always wanted to become a veterinarian, Dana has discovered that she has a special talent for makeup artistry, and her short-term goals include pursuing a career as a makeup artist. She would like to thank her parents who have supported her throughout her journey. She would like to share the following encouragement from Oprah Winfrey with her fellow grads. Turn your wounds into wisdom. This was Jeffrey's first year at Fundy, so he was really touched when the grads planned a cruise for his birthday. Saying happy birthday to him made him feel like a part of the big Fundy family. Jeffrey went to thank his parents for raising him, giving him an education, and supporting him on his move to Canada to improve his education. Hannah's favorite pastimes are writing, reading poetry, watching anime, and listening to music. She also enjoys working with small animals. She thanks her mom for always being cool and understanding, even through the struggles, her family for loving and supporting her, and her friends for appreciating her randomness. Hannah's future dreams include having her work published and making someone smile. Deanna Randur. During her years at Fundy, she has found a love for the visual and performing arts, performing in Aladdin and on the national music tours, some of her favorite memories. The experience of the Nicaragua humanitarian trip will put to good use after her many years of scientific study when she takes her career abroad and mark her own footprints in the world that needs more. Deanna is the final recipient of the Township of Langley Scholarship, awarding recognizing students for each Langley High School for their high academic achievement. Here to present her with this award is Acting Mayor Brent Ward. Josh's favorite memory of Fundy was the time in grade 6 when 4 grads said, "We're kidnapping you," and they took him to Subway.
Like his childhood hero, Tim Tebow, Josh believes that if you work hard, you will find a way to win, and he's used that belief to become an expert at mini golf and other valuable pursuits. His message to grads is be aggressive.
Victoria Rempel. Victoria believes that happiness can be found in small pleasures, like the unexpected arrival of a Starbucks coffee. She is looking forward to going to Kwantlen next year to pursue a career as a special education assistant.
Josh Reynolds. As a little boy, Josh dreamed of being a truck driver because he couldn't wait to get out and explore the world. Today, Josh still has dreams of traveling the world with close friends and then eventually starting his own business. Josh loves motocross, he loves his family and his friends, and he thanks everyone for the support and the good times. His words of wisdom to fellow grads is, always give it your all and you will achieve what you believe.
And then Simon Fraser, where he hopes to become an elementary school teacher. Andrew would like to thank his parents, friends, and teachers for somehow sticking with him and getting him through high school while he's still allowed to enjoy it.
When Cody was little, he wanted to be a firefighter just like his dad, but after he discovered his secret talent for building Lego, he now plans on going to university to pursue a degree in engineering. During his time at Fundy, Cody has learned that it's important to be yourself, and he would like his fellow grads to remember to always put your best effort into everything and challenge the hardships of life. He thanks his mom and dad for all of their support, for always being there. Cody was nominated for the Schulich Leader Award, demonstrating excellence in his pursuit on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics by our school. Congratulations.
Next year, Cassandra will be studying art and writing, but eventually she plans to travel to England, Australia, and pretty much everywhere else. She'd also like to write a novel that inspires, even if it's only one person among millions. Cassandra's favorite hobby is taking every situation and making it into an artistic opportunity. And she'd like everyone to remember that standing alone for a cause does not diminish its importance. Cassandra is the recipient of 2 scholarships. Trustee Rod Ross will present the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority Scholarship, specializing in fine arts, visual arts. Neil Billows will present the LFMSS PAC Essay Award for Cassandra. Congratulations.
Courtney's favorite memory of high school was the Grad campout. One important lesson Courtney has learned during her time at Fundy has been always bring your own water bottle. She thanks her family for being super rad and all of her teachers for their encouragement over the years. Next year, Courtney plans on attending Youth with a Mission before going on to post-secondary. If there is one mystery Courtney would like to have solved in her lifetime, it would be, what is my dog really thinking?
And these are still pretty much her plans for the future. One of her greatest achievements in high school was becoming junior girls basketball MVP in 2012. But what you may not know about Bethany is her secret talent for taxidermy. Bethany loves her huge dance family and thanks them all, as well as her family, for the support over the years.
Emma Sawatsky. Emma has many fond memories of her time at Fundy. Some of the best include the time she spent with Mrs. Penner and Tia helping out with the musicals and participating in drama class. Emma hopes to work as a preschool teacher in the future. She would like to thank her tutor Susan for helping her be successful, and Mrs. Penner and Mrs. Power for being there for her. Her words of wisdom to the fellow grads are, live life to the fullest.
Christy's major accomplishments during her time in high school include maintaining at least a 90% average throughout high school and becoming a provincial champion in horse vaulting. In fact, her most unique talent is being able to do a cartwheel on a moving horse. She would especially like to thank her parents for supporting her in her hobbies and her schooling. Christy will attend SFU this fall to pursue a career in biomedical engineering. Christy is the recipient of 3 scholarships this evening. Neil Billows, our PAC president, will present her with the LFMSS PAC SA Scholarship, and acting mayor Grant Ward will present her with the Langley Civic Award and the Langley Rotary SA Scholarship to recognize both her high academic achievement and service to our community.
Level 1 ACIT plumbing program this year and plans to put his skills to use in the future working in this industry. Brandon is happy to be a member of this year's graduating class and looks forward to post-secondary freedom to do whatever he wants. Writing. She's enjoyed being involved in the school musicals, especially playing the role of the Wicked Witch and spending time with friends singing Disney songs during rehearsals. Her future dreams include becoming mayor, becoming a famous author, and going back to New York one day. She thanks her parents for homeschooling her for 5 years, and she thanks her entire family for all their love. Dana is the recipient of 2 scholarships this evening, the Langley NDP Provincial Constituency Scholarship and the Sangren Memorial Scholarship. Mary and Al Sangren were longtime residents of the Langley community who believed in improving opportunities for members of their township. They left a trust fund to help support students graduating from each of the Langley secondary schools who plan on pursuing post-secondary education. The award commemorates the Sangren family, allowing their legacy to continue. Congratulations, Dana.
That the years have flown by so fast. She has enjoyed being an integral part of the last 2 musicals, learning new skills and making new friendships along the way. Most of all, Alicia is grateful for all the memories and lessons high school has offered her, and she values all the relationships that she has formed with both her peers and her wonderful teachers along the way.
Include attending the Motion Picture Arts program at Capilano University, and his dreams are to one day become a filmmaker. Benton wishes his fellow grads all the best for the future.
Anna's plans for the future include being a princess like Ariel, finding a castle by the sea, and living happily ever after. If that doesn't work out for her, she'd like to be an awesome preschool teacher. However, her immediate plans include going to Caprinway, Spain in January. One thing she's learned while at Langley Fundamental is that it's important to stop procrastinating, a skill she hasn't quite mastered yet. Her message to grads is just keep on swimming, my friends. Anna is the recipient of one of the Ministry of Education's District Dogwood Authority scholarships, specializing in fine arts, music. Her presentation demonstrated her love of music and commitment to our music program. Here to present this award to her on behalf of the board is Trustee Rod Ross.
Trevor has always wanted a career where he could work with his hands. When he was little, he wanted to be a carpenter. He worked towards fulfilling this goal by doing the ACIT program doing framing. In the future, Trevor wants to move up north to work. He wants to thank his mom and dad for their continued support, and his advice to his fellow grads is just give her. Trevor is eligible and will receive the secondary school apprenticeship scholarship in January next year once his marks and hours to the Industry Training Authority are approved by the ministry.
For elaborating, she can take 30 minutes for retelling something that only took 5 minutes. This will come in handy for her future goals of becoming an ESL teacher and traveling the world. Caitlin is proud of winning the Queen's Venture Award and the David Griffiths Memorial Award. She quotes Ms. Keynes in her advice to grads, wear sunscreen, eat your vegetables.
At one school is a long time, but all the friends she's made have made it worth it. Catherine's favorite memories include the Nicaragua trip, a place she hopes to visit again in the future. Catherine is attending Trinity Western next year. For all their support, Catherine would like to thank her family, friends, and teachers, even the ones who gave her homework.
Brandon Thompson. Musician or a hockey player, but he has since discovered a love and talent for photography. His dream to travel across Canada and the northern U.S. states, creating a visual documentary of his journey. He would like to thank his friends, family, Starbucks, teachers, God, and music for having supported him over the years. And his words of wisdom to fellow grads are, don't stop believing.
Ashton is a cool and caring member of the graduating class of 2014. He would like to thank his fellow grads for the fun times, and he wishes them all the best with whichever path they choose to follow.
Landon Tequila. Not just because of their destinations, but because of all the laughs and friendships that were created along the way. He thanks his friends for all the great memories. Landon's favorite hobby has been playing the drums, and he's enjoyed the opportunity to play for the school for 6 years, especially in jazz band. Next year, he plans on going to Trinity Western to become a social worker and hopes that all his friends find that something special about themselves and turn that into an amazing career.
And she thanks the school and her community for contributing to the making of this fine gift. She has enjoyed hanging in the counseling center, eating noodles with Courtney, and taping her friends. Sarah grew up watching Barney, and she would like everyone to know that she loves you, and you love her, and we're just all one big happy family.
Danielle wanted was to be a mom. She'd had a great time in high school, participating in student council, having fun on school trips, and making memories with friends. Next year, Danielle plans on attending UFE and traveling throughout Europe during her summers off. She thanks her parents, friends, and teachers who have supported her so much over the years. Danielle received a trades entrance scholarship from UFE and is enrolled in the culinary arts program this fall. On behalf of UFE, Ms. Hopton will present her with this award. Rachel Van Vliet. When she was little, Rachel wanted to be a director. She always admired Princess Belle because they're both brunettes, and that made Rachel feel special. Plus, Belle was smart and she loved to read. Rachel has enjoyed having a part in 2 high school musical productions. She enjoyed the West Coast band trip, and she really loved making forts during spare. She'd like to remind the grads that you don't have it all figured out to move forward.
Wanted to grow up and become an all-star basketball player, but then he grew up to be a 5'10" white guy and his dreams were crushed. Not to be discouraged, Zuri believes that you shouldn't count the days, but make the days count, and that is how he intends to live his life. The most important thing he's learned from his days at LFMSS are that, although working together can be beneficial, if you really want something done, you've got to do it yourself.
High school, Chantel's favorite hobbies include dancing and creative writing. When she was young, she wanted to be either a firefighter or a ballerina, but now she plans on studying at UFE to get her Bachelor of Arts degree. She still has a dream of being a dancer at Disneyland. She thanks her parents, friends, and Young at Arts family for always being there for her and encouraging her to pursue her goals and dreams. Katie Warnock. Katie would like to be remembered in high school for being nice to others. She is a proud member of the graduating class of 2014 and would like to thank her parents who always supported her, her friends, teachers, and supporting staff who made her high school experience memorable.
The crocodile hunter, and now her dreams for the future include studying at Trinity Western, traveling, and writing a book. She would like to thank literature, particularly Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, and Jane Lewis, for carrying her through high school. If there is one mystery Katarina would like solved in her lifetime, it would be why so many people lack common sense. Katarina is the recipient of the CUPE Local 1260 Scholarship Award, recognizing high academic achievement. Congratulations.
Was Larry Boy, and she secretly wanted to grow up to be a spy. But next year, she plans on taking her interns at Southgate Church and see where that leads her. Over the years at Langley Fundamental, she's developed a skill for weaving throughout the crowds at a rapid pace, a skill she still believes will benefit her in the future. She also enjoys the many band trips and learned to embrace the chaos that is a bus full of teenagers.
She wanted to be a Powerpuff Girl or a mermaid. But now that she's graduating, she's just looking forward to a career where she can talk a lot and get paid for it. She would like to thank Fundy for making her better at navigating crowded hallways. She would like to thank coffee and tea for always being there for her. But most of all, she would like to thank her mom, dad, and brother.
Was Han Solo, because even though he wasn't the main character in the movies, he was the one who got the girl. And also because he could speak Wookiee. If there's one thing Caleb has learned at Langley Fundamental, it would be the importance of friendship, and he feels very lucky to have such great friends in his life. Caleb thanks his parents and his grandparents for supporting him so much over the years. Wanted to be a master chef, but then she discovered she loved digesting words and creating language so much more. So next year, although she plans on attending UVic and being a part of their creative writing department, she also dreams of meeting the people she wants to meet and searching for some interesting conversation. She thanks her sister for keeping her sane, and she'd like to thank Neil Gaiman, J.K. Rowling, Gerard Way, and countless other creators for giving her characters and worlds that have brought her out of her darkest moments. Minnie's favorite memories of high school have been having lunch in the fields in the springtime, enjoying the warmth of the sun with her friends. Next year, she plans on studying psychology and economics at university, and she would like to travel to a new country each year. She thanks her teachers for all their patience and help they gave her, especially right after she arrived. Her message to grads is to make the most out of every moment. One thing that Teresa has learned from her time here is that it's okay to work at your own pace and not to judge yourself based on the achievements of others. She wonders whether aliens actually exist, and her future dreams include one day being able to step foot on the moon and gaze down at the earth. Teresa thanks her parents for all the time and money they have invested in her future. Teresa is the recipient of one of the Ministry of Education District Dogwood Authority scholarships specializing in the fine arts, music. The committee was truly amazed by her ability to play the piano.
Many members of our grad class have exceptional talent within the performing arts. The Wizard of Oz, senior band, jazz band, and our choir has been a showcase of this talent. our grad choir will now perform Seasons of Love. have Mr. Rempel, who will give the introduction of our valedictorian and then closing remarks.
Before I read the introduction to the Langley Fundamental 2014 valedictorian, I need to make an important qualifying statement. I didn't write this speech, and if anything, I'm a little worried that it's better than mine. The author of this introduction is Mr. Lowe, and I'm honored to be asked to read this on his behalf. So I quote, "It is my privilege to introduce the valedictorian of the Langley Fundamental Midland Secondary's class of 2014. The valedictorian is chosen for having the highest grade point average throughout grades 10 to 12. The role of a scholar is an essential one within society. Firstly, all citizens have some type of academic responsibility. All citizens should strive to be informed and knowledgeable in order to be a positive and contributing member of society. People should reflect on their informed beliefs in order to help guide their actions. However, there are some in society who make their living as an academic, and they have a special responsibility. They may become an expert in a particular field, and within that field, society will rely upon them to make certain advances or to try to discover deeper knowledge which should be beneficial to society in some way, either directly or indirectly. Our valedictorian this year is a determined, talented, and courageous young lady who displays a great deal of creativity and inventiveness in carrying through her studies. She is intellectual and inquisitive, with a questioning and independent mind that is open enough to reevaluate some beliefs if necessary. Above all, she is thoughtful and considerate and is very much concerned with the welfare of humanity and the world in which we live. These important human qualities are part of what makes a true academic, and this year's valedictorian is a very strong academic. The Langley Fundamental valedictorian for 2014 is Christy Schroeder. So stay right here, Christy. I'm halfway through the introduction, but I'm glad I want you to be here to hear the rest. Christy has been a student in the fundamental school system throughout her education, and she is the top academic student in our school. In her senior years, she has averaged a mark of 97.25%. Christy has done remarkably well with her challenging math and science workload, scoring 100% in pre-calculus 12 and 98% in biology 12 last semester. And she continues to strive for excellence this semester with top marks in Chemistry 12, Calculus 12, English 12, and History 12. Christy is a very well-rounded individual. In school, she is a much appreciated peer tutor. And in the math classroom, Christy has personally helped many students improve their own marks. She has been the dance and choreography leader in 2 school musicals, and danced in both of them as well. All staff and students speak highly of Christy, regardless of the context. Not only is Christy a scholar and a talented dancer, she is also an accomplished athlete. Outside of school, Christy first excelled in gymnastics, having won provincial titles with her gymnastics team, and now excels in equestrian vaulting, that's with horses, where last year, that was for my benefit, not for Mr. Lowe's. Where last year she received her club's highest score ever in competition. Christy has also been very involved with community. In each of the last 2 years, she has gone on a Mexico family missions trip where she worked at 2 orphanages and a women's shelter. Christy also handed out food hampers in 2 needy Mexican communities. Christy Schroeder seems to excel at whatever she turns her attention to. She is very well-rounded, participating in all facets of school and community life, and achieving to a very high level in all of these areas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, along with Mr. Lowe, to introduce to you the valedictorian for our class of 2014, Christy Schroeder.
Good evening, graduates, family and friends, staff and administrators, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go any further, I'd like to thank all of you who have helped us grads on a journey that has lasted 13 years. A journey that was finally completed when we walked across this stage. I'd like to thank you for what you've contributed to our lives and congratulate you on a job well done. We made it. We could not have achieved this without the great community that surrounds us at Fundy, a community that is very much like one big family. Grads, right from the start, we have had a unique experience at our school, one that most other public schools can't offer. We have grown up together. A large portion of the student body has been attending Langley Fundamentals since they were 5 years old. It should also be noted that these students have been educated in the exact same building since they were 5 years old. What other students can say that they've carried out lab experiments with dangerous chemicals in the same room where they walked into kindergarten for the first time? We are also the only high school with a full functioning playground, complete with jungle gym and swing sets. We have been together since we were young children, and in many ways, we grads are like a family. We have experienced and achieved so much together. We've traveled, volunteered, performed, fundraised, and played on teams together. Everything we've done has brought with it a sense of community and belonging, bringing us closer as a family. Over the years, our family has grown. During elementary school, we hardly ever got new students. So when we had new people coming each year in middle and high school, we were so excited we hardly knew what to do with ourselves. Everyone wanted to be friends with the new students, welcoming them in with open arms. I think it got to the point where you new guys were probably either receiving a huge ego boost from all the attention, or questioning your parents' decision for you to attend this weird fundamental school. Joking aside, I don't think this level of acceptance is a common thing in most high schools, and I think we should be proud of it. Each year, we have accepted new people into our family, all of us united by calling Fundy our home for at least a little while. We have endured innumerable fire drills, soldiered on through hours and hours of homework, struggled through the unavoidable group projects, and battled the dreaded final exams. And we have persevered through all of these things together. Our family does not end with the grad class, however. It extends to the whole Fundy community. This includes with teachers who have volunteered an incredible amount of hours to enrich our school experience. They've given us extra help after school, written references for us, coached our sports teams, and made sure we didn't get into too much trouble at grad events like the grad sleepover. On one occasion, Mr. Johnson even became the legal guardian of a student when a passport went missing in Europe. This community also includes our parents, who have dedicated endless hours to this grad class. They volunteered for many school events over the years, including grad events, school musicals, band and cultural trips, sports, and the field trips and sports days that seem so long ago now. All of these things have brought us all together to form the close-knit community we have today. Perhaps this is why Fundy kids are often thought of as being sheltered from the real world, because our school culture is so different. However, I think that we just live in a different type of community that the rest of the world should strive to adopt. We can feel comfortable eating lunch with different people each day, enjoy a pleasant conversation with people we might not be super close with, and expect to feel accepted and respected every time we walk into school. As we go out into the world, I think it's important to extend this acceptance and appreciation for community into everything we do. In the words of Jean Vanier, community is a sign that love is possible in a materialistic world where people so often either ignore or fight each other. There are so many tragic events taking place in our world today, some distant, others close at hand. Currently, there are numerous armed conflicts between and within countries, vast refugee populations, extreme poverty, and human suffering. Locally, we see gang violence, homelessness, and families living below the poverty line. All of this and much more takes place while our society focuses on money, technology, and personal comfort. In this day, the idea of a close community seems something of the past. However, as we go into this chaotic world, we are now in the position to bring that ideal back to life. We have the opportunity to show that love and compassion are still possible in our world, along with respect, acceptance, and peace. As Fender students, we've explored these opportunities together when we participated in the 30-hour famines, collected donations for the food bank and Christmas hampers, raised money for youth homelessness, and volunteered in a number of ways in Nicaragua. As graduates, many of us will continue on to post-secondary education or will be doing apprenticeships in the trades. Some of us have chosen to work or travel. I don't believe it matters so much what we choose to do, but rather how we do it. Molly Marty, an educator and psychologist, believes that your value lies not in your status or title, but in the roots of your character and depth of your compassion. Grads, wherever you go, I encourage you to bring the spirit of community with you and strive to be a model of respect, acceptance, and compassion that the people around you can look up to and follow. In this simple way, I truly believe we can bring change to this world. Finally, no matter what you do or where you go, remember to live your life with integrity and a sense of purpose. Grads, we have the ability to make choices that will either build up the people around us or tear them down. It is my hope that when faced with such decisions, we will fall back on our Fundy community values and choose to treat others with compassion and respect. I would like to leave you with a final quote from Molly Marty. Our power lies in our small daily choices, one after another, to create eternal ripples of a life well lived. Fellow Fundy grads of 2014, I challenge you to go out and create lives well lived. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Should have known that I was worried about 2 speeches. My closing remarks to the grad class of 2014, congratulations. I could say this every year at this time, but you are a unique group. You have emerged in this grade 12 year as a class with distinct identity. From the beginning of the school year with the grad cruise that went so well, you have had a lot of fun events, and Claire Guy mentioned a few of them. Amazing mall madness, the intimate dinner evening, and again the Halloween party, the Toga Tuesday. That I thought was a dress code violation, but I found out that it was a theme day. And then I thought I had to call a lockdown when I saw girls in camo. But that, they informed me, was War Zone Wednesday, and they decided not to bring fake weapons, so I thank you again. You are a very connected grad class in your relationships with our staff. 5 of you with a parent who teaches at our school. Many of you have connected with younger students at our school, coaching a team, mentoring, tutoring, volunteering, and even acting together in this year's musical Wizard of Oz. A lot of you are so connected to our school that we have come to depend upon you, and you will be missed. You are a well-traveled group. Last month I was cleaning up some files in my computer and came across a grade 9 Europe trip blog. Before deleting it, I took a quick look at it, and it was your class, or at least a third of you, looking a little younger, but definitely recognizable. At least a quarter of you were on the Global Ed 12 Nicaragua trip, and you are so awesome that Mr. Sawatsky couldn't say no to any of the applicants and had to take everyone who applied. You are a gifted group of students. For the past number of years, the Langley School District has honored grade 11 and 12 students at its annual Celebration of Achievement. This grade evening featured 10 students from each grade and each school, chosen largely on the merits of their grade point average. This year, in the theme of the new Langley School District vision, 10 grade 12 students were selected who exemplified at least 3 of the 4 core values: integrity, excellence, courage, and community. And that became very complicated because so many of you demonstrate these core values every day. This evening of inspiration was truly inspiring, most notably in the stories of graduating students from Langley who, along with academic success, are making such a difference in your community. Last week at our athletic awards banquet, our guest speaker, Vancouver Canuck and Team Canada defenseman Dan Hanhus, was asked what legacy he hoped to leave after his hockey career was over. His response included being a good teammate and, most importantly, making a difference in his community. And my challenge to you, the grad class of 2014, is to go out of here and do your best in whatever academic, vocational pursuit you choose, and to make a difference in your community. Canadian social philosopher John Ralston Saul writes that the challenge of democracy, that which makes it a difficult system to live within, but the best system nevertheless, is that it requires us to look beyond ourselves and our own needs to the needs of the greater good. If we are rigorous and determined, the public good will be served, and we, as part of it, will benefit. And many of you, and it's been touched on numerous times this evening, many of you have looked beyond yourselves, and in so doing, have found something new in yourself. I heard a powerful grad trans presentation from one of you who changed a post-secondary path after the Global Ed trip to Nicaragua. You have coached younger students, some of you volunteer in your church, many of you are already connected to the Langley community through volunteer work. Yesterday afternoon, amid the chaos of a last-minute locker cleanup, I walked by a math class, and there were 2 of you tutoring younger students in math. On the back of this evening's program is a description of your grad gift. Not a barbecue for the school or a weather vane, bless those gifts from the past, but a gift to Aldergrove Neighborhood Services Youth Homelessness Initiative, serving the public good, supporting youth who find themselves without a place to live. Thank you for a great year, grad class of 2014. I'm sure Ms. Danawell has some thank yous, but it might not hurt to duplicate some. To our special guests and presenters, thank you for joining us for this ceremony. Big thank you to the staff of Christian Life Assembly for hosting us, and to the parents and staff who have contributed to this ceremony, another sincere thank you.
It has been a tradition to have our choir sing the following piece of prose, one that has a great meaning of what connects us together. In the Irish tradition, ceremonial events such as this always invites an opportunity for blessing. The traditional Irish blessing speaks blessings of health and generosity, both physically and spiritually. Please welcome back the choir to sing us the Irish blessing. Thank you very much. Prior to the last formality of this event, there are some individuals that do need to be thanked. Mrs. Van Oort for the flowers and for making this place look amazing. Thank you very much. My partners in crime this year, Miss Graham and Miss Hopton, will also have children graduating this year. Sarah Rimple and Ryan McCall for the slideshows that you've seen today. And Miss Volkenant and next year's Grad Council for the refreshments that you'll be able to have after we're finished. Finally, to the grads. On behalf of our staff, please let me say how proud we are of you and how much we will miss you. And to your parents, thank you for sharing your children with us. Grads, it is now time to get ready for the great rites of passage, the throwing of your caps in the air. This is such a Canadian tradition, isn't it? After this happens, and there is an actual routine for this, so after this happens, you'll be dismissed and everyone is welcome to have cake and refreshments in the foyer. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in this loud and roaring congratulations. To the Langley Fundamental Middle and Secondary School graduating class of 2014.